Welcome back. I'm going to do drawing tutorial number 1, drawings. It's going to look like this little picture you got right here in the tutorial. So it's a multi-view drawing. There's the front view and the bottom view and the right view, and they're all laid out relative to each other, directly below and directly to the right. There's an isometric view over here with little leaders calling out the parts. And those parts are listed in this table up in here. There's a detail view of the blade mechanism here, and there's a title block. And also, all of these dimensions and everything are referenced back to the original design. So it's pretty cool. All right, I'll move this off to the side. I've got Fusion going. Get into the data. What is it called? The data panel. And basic training Section 8, drawings, drawing utility knife. Open that up. Here it is. And okay, a lot of times I don't save, but it is important to save for this because the drawing we're going to make is referenced back to this design. So you do have to save the design file and save the drawing file in order to make that work for drawings. So I'll go to File, Save As right away, and I want to make a new folder, or a new project. So I'll click New Project here. I'm going to call this Drawing Toots, and press Enter to make that project. Get inside that, and then I'm going to call this Ross Utility Knife. Right, so I'm making a design called Ross Utility Knife. I'm putting it in the project folder called Drawing Toots. All right, so I click Save. If you go back into the data panel, you can see that I've got a folder called Drawing Toots, and in there is this design. So I'm not sure what to call these things. I mean, this is a design. Ross Utility Knife is a design file, although sometimes they use the word project. Anyway, I have a design, so I have Drawing Toots project, they call that a project, and then inside that I have Ross Utility Knife. Let's just call that a design. All right, so based on that design, we're going to make a drawing. It's associative, right? The drawing is associated with the design. So you click this big old design button, go down to drawing from design, right? We're making a new drawing from design. Okay, let's see, we want full assembly checked. We want ASME, which is the way the views are laid out, the top, right, left views. There's several ways to do it, and I like ASME, and most America, that's common, ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So click in inches and click OK. So this thing comes up, the drawing, in a new tab. So it's a drawing file, I guess. And there's this base view floating around. So plop that down, and then that's pretty much it. Then just click OK in the dialog, and it matures into a line drawing. They use the word mature. I'm going to go ahead and save this right now. So if you go to File, Save, I want to put it in Drawing Toots location, although I don't think you necessarily have to. I'm just thinking about how to organize a larger project, but anyway, for now we'll put it in Drawing Toots, and the default name is Ross Utility Knife Drawing. Maybe I'll add Drawing 1 on there. Drawing 1, I'm going to call it Main Assembly, because that's what it is. And click Save. Okay, now over in the data view, in the data panel, we've got Ross Utility Knife, and then Ross Utility Knife Drawing 1, Main Assembly. Okay, I can close that now. All right, we're going to add a couple more views on here. So you go up to this projected view button, click that, and it wants the base view, which is, or the parent view, which is this thing. And then as you move the mouse around, it generates the appropriate view depending on where you, the ASME view convention, right? Top, left, right, bottom. Anyway, we'll click the right view, click it there, and the bottom view, I'll click it there, and then enter to complete that, and they turn into line drawings. Okay, we can enter another base view if we want. So I'll click the base view button, and now we'll go in the dialog here, change it to northeast isometric, and make the scale 1:1. So it's a little bigger. Plop that guy down there and click OK. Right? Now there they are. So we can edit them. Like if you double click this right view here, you can change the line types to show hidden edges. So click that, and there's the hidden edges inside there, and close that dialog. If you double click the bottom view to edit it, you get the dialog again, and we could display what they call tangent edges, which is a way to treat, well, just what it says, tangent edges. There's more about that in the tutorial, but I want you to turn that on, and so all of these lines that designate where two tangent faces come together, basically that's a tangent edge. And click OK to close that. Let's see, I think that's it for the views. Now we want to add some text. So on the text menu, there's a couple of buttons. Click this text thing, click, get your box. This is the front view, and click anywhere else to complete it, and click it again, click bottom view, type it in, and then click off to the side, text, click right view, click. Those are all our views. We can also add leaders. That's all right. One of the text functions is a leader, so click that, and there you go. It's the blade. There's that. Oh, I forgot to add the detail view. So back to the views commands. So there's this thing for detailed view. I'll click that. I'll zoom in here. You have to click the parent view, and then once you've done that, you can pick a point anywhere, and there's snaps that show up, but you want to just click an arbitrary point in the middle there, which you can do, and then you can zoom out and size this little circle thing. Click, and then this detailed view pops up, and you can plop it down somewhere and change the scale. We want it to be even bigger, and that's the purpose of a detailed view. So we'll make it 2:1. It's 4 times bigger, because I think this right view was 1:2, and then the ISO is 1:1. Now the detail's 2:1. Okay, that's that. Let's see. What's next? Oh, dimensions. So we're going to throw a bunch of dimensions on here. So there's all these kinds of dimensions. Linear dimension, right? Point there, come in and get the snap on down there and locate the dimension there. Just a couple of clicks and there's a dimension. Let's see, let's add a aligned dimension. Like on this blade, you could click there and there and there, and that's done. Let's put a diameter dimension on this hole. A couple of clicks, just boom, boom. Radius dimension, I can't get the one they want us to use, I think, because it's a spline, not a actual arc. But you can click this one and throw the radius out there. Let's see, there's this angular dimension which I cannot get to work, but there, that's close. It's not exactly what's in the tutorial, but you would never put an angular dimension on a geometry that looks like this anyway. That's not helpful, but So don't worry about it. All right. Oh, a couple more neat things with the dimensions. So here, let's delete this linear dimension here and put it back. Linear dimension. We'll put it back, but just at this top piece of stuff. Throw that guy on there. And then there's two things to play with. There's baseline dimension and chain dimension. So baseline dimension, they're all the dimensions are referenced from one starting point. So let's select that, and we'll click this linear dimension we just made, but click it up towards the top. Okay, and every other dimension that we throw on there will be referenced to that top point. Like that. These are pretty cool. And then let's see, you gotta, what do? You gotta hit enter to complete it. So there's those. Let's select all of those and press delete and do the other one, which is chain dimension, which is similar. So you click the first dimension, and then every dimension you throw on there will be lined up with that dimension. So those are cool. And then enter. So a couple of different kinds of dimensions. Let's throw a table in there. All right, so there's tables. So you click the table button. It wants a drawing view. These are all the same part, but they might not necessarily be the same part. So you could click any of them and it will work. We'll click, I think this one, the ISO, is the one to click. Because here, watch what happens. I'll click the part, and then it wants you to locate the table. I'll snap it to this point, and that's what it does. It makes a list of all the parts, and then it puts these little balloons on there. So isometric views are good for that kind of thing, showing the part call out. And I think I can. Haven't tried to edit it. I haven't tried to type in descriptions yet. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, let's see. Oh, we can move these bubbles if we want, if they're not in the right spot, or the spot we prefer. All right. What's that? What else? Oh, the title block. So here, don't make this too complicated. The instructions make it pretty complicated. All you have to do is, well, look, I have two tabs up. I have the original design and I have the drawing that's referenced from this design. Now, if you save those things right away, as soon as you have the opportunity to, then this will all work right. And notice when I made this drawing, because I'd already saved this Ross utility knife thing, it populated this field for me. It made the project name the same as the project. Remember this drawing toots thing? That's the project. So that's the project where these files are stored. So it put that in there for me, which I think is good. And then the title is the title of the design, the Ross utility knife. So that's good. So it's good to be thinking about what your drawings are called and stuff for when you're doing a big project. Anyway, there's that. And now you can just get in here and let's see, what do? You have to double click one of these existing text, and then this ghosted text comes up, and I can start typing in numbers. All right, that's that. It's a little bit clunky if you don't do this save thing that I was talking about. Save your designs first, or at the first opportunity. Otherwise, this associativity between files starts being goofy. It doesn't work quite right. All right. Oh, speaking of that associativity, so let's demonstrate that. So I've got let's take this little button that you push right here to get the blade out. Let's make that longer. So I'll go to the design and click this surface, right click, do a press pull, and 10 is good, and I'll hit enter. Okay, it changed the design. There's a little star up here on the tab indicating the design has not been saved. So I'll save it. You have to save it to update. So I'll click save, and I'll type in made button longer. Okay, then when I go back to the drawing, there's a little yellow triangle up here. Okay, which means the drawing based on this design is out of date. So in the drawing here, click on this triangle, just click on it, and nothing's happening. Oh, no, it did it. Well, it's still thinking. There it goes. It's a little slow. There it is. It's longer. And if I would have put a dimension on that, it would update the dimension too. It's way cool. Let's see. Are we done? No, a few more cool things. So down in here on this, I don't know what you call this, drawing menu, submenu thing, you can change the font. So I like Calibri. Change all that stuff to Calibri. You can also change the dimension precision, right? Like, look, let's crank it way up to ridiculous. Let's 4 digits, right? Then all of these dimensions have 4 digits on them. What else? Other things. You can also change a specific dimension. So let's click this one here. And you can't change the value, but you can change some other attributes. If you double click it, this dimension menu pops up. And for example, you could add a tolerance, right? You could say symmetrical, and so it's a 0.01. And then the symmetrical notation means plus or minus here on the number. Or you could do deviation, so it's plus something, minus something. You can have different values for those. And then there's limit, which is looks like a fraction. Okay, that's it's cool. Oh, then there's this representation. So there's standards to these mean certain things, like parentheses means a reference dimension, and not to scale means not to scale, and theoretically exact means theoretically exact. You can look up those dimensions. They're not the most important thing in the world, honestly, but you could look them up if you ever happen to need something that like that. It depends on where you end up working, how important that is. All right, that's that. Let's see, I've got a little yellow thing here. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to click reassociate. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. I could delete it. I don't know. It might have. I don't know what I did. So last thing, you can output it. Look. So if you can do a PDF, I'll do that, and I'll just click OK on the defaults. Oh, she contains dissociated annotations that contain errors. I'm gonna try and fix that. Let's delete there. I fixed it. Let's go back to output. I'll put it on the desktop. Okay, and then I can go here to, I can even output an AutoCAD drawing. I could output a comma separated values of this parts list. Let's do that because it's fun. Okay, now I'll minimize this. I'll open up Excel here. There's my parts. It's cool. I can open up this PDF, and there it is. All right, it's a PDF. You can email to somebody. Everybody's got Adobe. It's free. That's cool for sharing drawings. Oh, then it makes a DWG, but it's not that useful. Let me show you. Watch, I'll open it up. And by default, this DWG is associated with the original design, right? That is the same thing that Fusion was doing, right? When Fusion had the original design associated with the drawing. Well, AutoCAD tries to keep that going, but I don't see the point of that, and also it seems like the implementation is kind of clunky. So it seems to me the reason you would want to export to AutoCAD is so that you can actually get lines, right? But that's not what you have. You have these blocks that are associated with the design. You can't edit them very well. So there's a trick, all right? So what you do is you see we're in the sheet space down here at the bottom, and there's also the model space. So what you want to do is you want to export this sheet, which is associated with Fusion. You want to export it to just a plain old lines, right? So you go up here to save as. Right here, this is the trick. Save layout as drawing. It adds another little bit to the name, and we'll just click save. And then it made it. It's a file, another file that I saved. Now we'll open it. Okay, now we're in the model space, and these are just, well, they're blocks, but I can explode them now. Now they're lines. This is just a line. I can delete it. I can do whatever I want. It seems to me that's what you'd want to do, because I mean, why else would you even want to export to AutoCAD? There's no reason, unless you wanted to just be able to do anything you want, which you can, but you got to do this extra step I just showed you. All right, I think that's it. You could output the PDF. I could print the PDF. I could probably print this thing right here. Yeah, that's my printer right there. Looks like it would print. I'll go ahead and press print. See if it comes out. All right, that's it. I hope that was useful to you. See you next time.